Okay, welcome to all of you again. Good evening. So today is a session 9 of third day. The speaker of this session is Professor Madhu Jain. So Dr. Madhu is faculty in the Department of Mathematics, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, for last 12 years. Before joining IIT Roorkee, she served Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar University, Agra as a reader and as a professor also there. And she is also visiting faculty under UGC Career Award in IIT Delhi and DAV College, Dehradun. She is recipient of 2 gold medals at MP level. There are more than 450 research publications in reputed national and international journals. She was confirmed Young Scientist Award and SERC Visiting Fellow of Department of Science and Technology and Career Award, University Grant Commission. She was recipient of Best Paper Award in International Conference on Scientific Computing and Mathematical Modeling in Spain. She guided more than 50 PhD students. She has successfully completed 6 sponsored major research projects of MHRD, DST, UGC, and CSIR. She has delivered invited keynote lectures and paper presentation in more than 50 international and 125 national conferences in India and abroad. Also, she visited many reputed universities in USA, Canada, UK, Germany, across all the world. She has organized 7 international and 5 national conferences as organizing secretary, convener, co-convener, and chairperson, including 2 international conferences at IIT Roorkee. Dr. Jain was former president and vice president of Vigyan Parishad of India. At present, she is holding the post of president of Global Society of Mathematical and Allied Sciences. Her current research interests include computer communication, networks, queuing theory, software and hardware reliability, research allocation of cellular mobile system, and bioinformatics. So now I would like to welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. Over to you now. Professor Madhu Jain.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, sir.
And
so first I share my slides. Are you able to see the slides?
Yeah.
So, good afternoon to all of you. I am thankful to the organizer of FDP, in particular Professor Rajiv Kumar, for inviting me to deliver talk on the topic of my interest. Today I am talking about the stochastic modeling and performance analysis of artificial intelligence system. So here we do the modeling via stochastic process of the system, and to have the intelligence, we shall discuss how we are taking the fuzzy logic or the ANN into consideration. So first of all, we discuss briefly what is the intelligence. Here we can define intelligence as the ability of a system to calculate region, perceive relationship and analogy, learn from experience, store and retrieve information from memory, solve problems, comprehend complex ideas, use natural languages fluently, classify, generalize, and adopt new situations. This is the classical definition of the intelligence. But here we are dealing with the machining system in which we are providing the artificial intelligence. So whenever machine is artificially hello, is there any hello? Can I am a
All requested to unmute their mic.
I'm not audible. Hello.
Yeah, if you update email acceptable for the
I'm audible. Hello.
என்ன இது பேசிட்டு எங்க பேசுது நெட் கனெக்ட் ஆகல நெட் தீந்து போச்சுட்டு இருக்குது
ma'am, you are audible.
Participant, please mute your mic and you can keep your camera on. Please on your camera.
Okay. So I will continue. So we are dealing with the performance modeling of the machining system by using the stochastic process. We are dealing the machines which is artificially intelligent, and that means it is equipped with the intelligence. So what do you mean by intelligence? We are providing the reasoning with the help of the reasoning and linguistic intelligence, or by way of the learning or perception. We are solving the problems and the system will work quickly. That way we are doing the modeling. So artificial intelligence can be viewed in many ways, but as a mathematics, we are considering the logical mathematical intelligence only when doing the performance modeling. So this kind of the intelligence is provided to the machining system by mathematician and the scientists. Mainly engineers are working in that direction. So what is the logical mathematical intelligence? This is the ability of use and understand relationship in the absence of the action or object, understanding complex and abstract ideas. So with the help of the intelligence, without having the action in advance, we know what action should be performed. That way we are doing the modeling. So briefly we are having the how we are discussing we are dealing with the artificial intelligence. The classification of the artificial intelligence broadly can be done based on the formal task, mundane task, or the expert task. Whatever mundane or ordinary task that person learns from birth by speaking, by language, by moving, and whatever may he or she see in the environment, he can learn. But there are some formal tasks, as we are doing in mathematics, we are applying the logic, etc. And in games, we are also taking the formal task with the help of the AI. But my main concern here is how to develop the expert system by using the expert task. So expert tasks are mainly used by the engineers to develop the design of any embedded system and whatever area they are working. And today my main purpose is to discuss how we are doing the fault finding in the expert systems. System may be the hardware system or the software system or the embedded system. So expert task, we are dealing with the engineering, fault finding, manufacturing, and the monitoring. So whatever expert task, it is very important to perform the AI work in any system. So this usage of this AI needs the expert knowledge without common sense. Whenever we are applying the AI, we are not using the common sense based on the scientific technique, whatever logic or whatever technical availability, we are providing the expert task to the system so that the system can work well, whatever assigned work is given to it. So in an easier way, it can handle the work. So again, I define what I mean to expert system. The expert system are the computer application developed to solve complex problems in a particular domain at the level of extraordinary human intelligence and expertise. So here we are not taking the hit and trial method. Whatever knowledge we are having based on the logic, we are using the computer programs to provide the intelligence to the system, and that way expert systems are developed. So there's a lot of application of the intelligence system in every area. People are interested to develop the intelligence system in health and medicine. There's the expert system to recognize the disease and then providing the whatever drug delivery is done is also based on the intelligence system. In computer communication system, transportation, even in use aeroplane are using the expert system. In banking, now we are also applying the intelligence so that tasks will become the easier. So that way people are taking the expert system for in different areas. So main purpose here, we discuss the stochastic model and how we are providing the intelligence with the help of the fuzzy logic. And of course, we also take the neurofuzzy systems, but we take a very simple system, how we are taking the fuzzy input parameter to get the results for the fault tolerant system. And then little bit we shall discuss the software system in which the intelligence is provided with the help of the fuzzy logic also. So now I come to the what is the role of the stochastic modeling? It is very widely used models in many areas, physical science as well as the biological science. We are using the stochastic model. Actually, stochastic model deals with the random events wherever there is a random parameters are indexed by some index. That may be the discrete or the continuous. So with the help of the stochastic models, we are dealing with the probabilistic events. Whatever differential equation we have taught, that is the deterministic for the deterministic model. But if happening is random, so stochastic model comes into the pictures and depict more realistic scenario in comparison to the deterministic models. So nowadays, these types of the models apply in many areas, including the communication, computer, manufacturing, production, inventory system, etc. So these systems are mainly using the statistical and the probabilistic techniques to derive the performance measures. And with the help of the optimization technique, we can also take the effective use of the resources, whatever available for the system design. So I take a very simple one example, and nowadays it is very important how we are taking the intelligence system. Say there is a sixth sense technology application done by MIT MTech student, PhD student. So he has developed the intelligence system that he called as a sixth sense technology base by using the only 4 component: camera, color marker, projector, and a smartphone. So he can create the images on any objects. It may be your hand, maybe the wall, maybe the table. And with the help of the camera, internet connection can be made for the computing purpose and to get the information. We are using the smartphone. And the projector is used to store the data and project the whatever figure data comes out to on any screen. So, and here camera is used to track the movement of the color markers. Color markers may be of the different colors. In the starting, he has taken the 4 color markers, and with the help of the fingertips, he can track the movement of that one. So here you can see the with the help of this Sixth Sense technology, he can create the computers or maybe the calculators on hand, in palm, maybe on the newspaper, maybe on the hand, and at the dashboard of the car. So with the help of the very small objects, that is the component, he has used the Sixth Sense technology to do the manipulation and get the results. So with the help of this Sixth Sense technology, you can book the ticket or do the computation or do the other work as people are doing with the help of some laptop nowadays. So that means by intelligence, he's providing the intelligence with the help of the only mobiles. But this kind of the application is now become popular with the introduction of the Internet of Things technology. So in our houses, in the coming years, most of the gadgets will be the intelligent system. Lot of application, no doubt all of you are aware that we are developing the many systems for the research and development for the national planning and budgeting. In the defense, we are having our radar system, whatever tank or our planes, fighter planes, we are providing the intelligence to them. There is a lot of scope in the area of the agriculture irrigation also, by sensing the climate and whatever may be the weather, it can provide it can do the irrigation or the fertilizer. So that intelligence system can be used for the irrigation purpose to increase the crop production. In education training, intelligence systems are being used in Western country. Now we can also use this one in our country. So depending on the choice of the student can opt the subjects. So intelligently, the allocation can be done depending on the capability of the student, or student can opt the discipline or the topic to be studied in the semester. So a lot of scope in the finance and purchasing, in the inventory system, supply chain management, production management. In every area, we can develop the intelligence system. And for the performance prediction, we can use the stochastic models for that. So stochastic models based on the probability theory, we are mainly used in operation research, the area of the QN theory. In QN theory, we are using this intelligence system in the computer and data centers. And for the traffic modeling, traffic are diverted depending on the further routes. So that can be done intelligently with the help of the technique available in the data science. And reliability theory also use the stochastic models to give the performance for the assessment of the fault tolerant system or whatever embedded systems are in the engineering department. And hardware and software system can be assessed with the help of the reliability models, and inventory models deals with the stock in hand, and that can be predicted with the help of the probabilistic models. And nowadays, logistics and the supply chain management is also used with the help of the stochastic modeling. So we develop a model with the help of the reliability models and taking the per deck process to study the stochastic process. There are the mainly two processes, birth process and a death process. So failure of any component, we are taking the birth and the repair of that one we are taking as a death process. So briefly, we take how we apply the mathematics for the performance prediction of the any system which is subject to failure. So what is the reliability? Reliability is the probability of failure-free operation for a specific time period or input set under a specified environment. Environment we are taking into consideration in case of the software, but in case of the hardware, we are not worried about the environment in which hardware is working. So we are dealing with the failures. Failure distribution is used for the reliability prediction. And time is also important because we are defining the reliability during the interval 0 to t. So because any equipment or the software cannot work lifelong, so after some time it may deteriorate or due to some fault, it may fail. So time is also taken into consideration. And for the operational reliability, we are dealing with the environment also. So reliability is the probability that the component survives until some time t. So that is also known as the survival function. So survival function and reliability function are synonym terms. Availability is also important in this stage. We define the availability of a component or a system as the probability that the component is properly functioning at time t. To deal with the stochastic model, we are using some probabilistic law. So here, basic probabilistic law are stated. So they are the conditional probability law. There may be the law of independent events. Independent events means happening of A does not depend on the B. So that means the probability of A and B intersection, A intersection B comes out to be as a product of the probability of A and probability of B. So product law holds in case of the independent events. And Bayes theorem is also very popular way to deal with the conditional probability. So a statement of the Bayes theorem is also given here. Probability of A given B is given by the probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. So to deal with the conditional probability or many models of the computer communication system, we are using the Bayes theorem. Total probability law is also listed here. So probability of A, that becomes the sum of the two components. First component is the probability of A given B multiplied by the probability of B plus probability of A given complement of probability of B multiplied by the probability of complement of B. So complement of B we are taking as by taking the tilt notation here in the side by. And when we are dealing with the probability models, we are interested into the mean and variance. And other higher movements are also important in some cases. So if there is a discrete distribution, in that case, the mth movement of the random variable x, exm is taken to be as the sum of the xim, where random variable x takes the value small xi, multiplied by the probability of x is equal to xi. So this is in case of the discrete distribution. We are having the Poisson distribution, geometric distribution, binomial distribution, actually discrete distribution. These distributions are very commonly used to predict some phenomena. And if we are taking m is equal to 1, so expectation of x gives you the mean or the first moment, or we are also call this expectation of x. This is mean or comes out to be the same as arithmetic mean. So expected value of the first moment, generally we are denoted by that mu. X is a random variables. What is the random variables? Random variable is the outcome of an experiment, and it takes some values, discrete or continuous values. So whenever there is a random experiment or there is the uncertainty in the happening of any event, so we are taking that we denote the outcomes by the random variables, and random variable take the discrete or continuous value. Central movement is also important. So if you are taking the expectation of x about me, so that if you are taking the m is equal to 2, so expectation square of the expectation of the x about the mean gives you the variance also. So variance is the second central movement, and mn movement is here. So here movements we have defined for the discrete distribution. However, for the continuous distribution, we can easily define that in place of the summation, we take the integration. So for discrete, we take the summation, and for continuous distribution, if random variable is continuous, so we take the integration. So we can also define that. So whenever we are taking the reliability or we are discussing the fault tolerance system, so we are using the sum term quite often. We are using the fault. Fault means there may be the partial failure or there may be the total failure of a device. Fault is sometimes we are also using this is for the errors. If there is some errors, we are saying that software or the hardware there is some fault in that. So the availability to recognize the fault is also called the detection. So whenever functioning, we are detecting for some errors or the fault, so that we call the detection. And prevention maintenance is also important for any system. So prevention is the ability to overcome an undesirable outcome from a given set of conditions, circumstances. So before failure, we also you can take the preventive maintenance also, so that the failure may become less, or most often we are able to overcome to the failure by doing the preventive maintenance. So in the case of the intelligence system, deviation alarm is also provided. So what is the deviation alarm? Value of the sensor is automatically compared with the redundant sensor for validity checking, because in fault tolerance system we are providing a redundant part. So we are taking the redundant sensor to check the failure of the system, because sometimes sensor may also fail. So that kind of things are doing into the real-time system. Diagnostic are also done for the real-time system, even for the artificial intelligence system. So whatever data is there, we are making the comparison, and then some measures are taken to diagnose the fault before the failure, or upon failure, we are also want to detect the cause of the failure. So to make the system fault tolerant system, redundancy, the provision of redundancy is very important. And redundancy means spare part support. So if some component fails, spare part takes place in that failed in place of the failed component. And to make the system more reliable, there may be the provision of the multiple sensors. Multiple input devices can be used for the voting, validity, or mean value selection, because we are providing the output, not only the single unit, multiple unit can provide the output, so we can get the more reliable results. So say if you are having the weather forecasting, so in place of the one sensor, many sensors are put at different places, and based on the output of those sensors, the prediction of the climate is done. So multiple sensors are used to make the system more reliable. Or whatever output or forecasting you are doing, that can be done with the help of the redundancy and the multiple sensor. And triple modular redundancy means your system will work if 2 out of 3 units are working. So in that case, voting arrangement is done. Say there the 3 output are there. If 2 output are same, so we take that output. So we call that one 2 out of 3 voting arrangement. So triple modular. If you are taking the n modular system, so system can become the more reliable also. So simplest discrete distribution, the geometric distribution, we are listing this one. This gives the probability of the first time failures after some events you are taking the trials, or you are taking, this gives the probability of success after k minus 1 failures. So if you are checking you are making the fault detection, so there may be the first unit failed, second failed, so success comes out to be in the kth trials. If the kth trial is the success, then the distribution is called the geometric distribution. And this is the only distribution that follows the Markovian property. So we will see how Markovian property is followed. But continuous distribution, that is exponential distribution, also follows the Markovian property. So we will see what is the Markovian property that is widely used for the performance modeling via stochastic process. So Markov chain, we define a discrete state continuous time stochastic process. It's called a Markov chain. So we are saying that the probability of xt is equal to x, given that the xtn is equal to xn, xtn minus 1 equal to xn minus 1, and xt0 is equal to x0. That means happening of any event, we are taking xt is equal to x. It depends on the previous event at the epoch t0, t1 and tn. So we already know what happens at the previous epochs t0 to tn. So we are forecasting the probability of at the time xt where t is greater than tn. So if we are taking this one, so Markov property says that, so probability of happening of the xt equal to x, it depends on the just prior event. Prior event is a tn. We are taking here tn, and tn is the last epoch we have checked. So probability of any happening at the time t depend only on the tn, not on the previous epochs. That is, previous epochs is the t0 to up to tn minus 1. So that's why we have not taken here whatever we have not taken this one. So because happening of this depend only the just prior event. So this gives you the probability of happening depends on the just prior event, not on the past event. Just so continuous time models also have the Markov process. So for the discrete as well as the continuous, we are having the Markov process. So in this case, we are taking the state changes are discrete, but the random variables take the continuous values. So there are the 4 categories of the Markov process. So we are taking the stochastic process into 4 categories: continuous, 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 discrete, discrete, continuous, and the discrete. And whatever we are taking as the state, space, and the time. So two things we are taking: the state and the time. If state and time both are continuous, we are having a continuous stochastic process. So that way we are taking the process. So stochastic process we are just defining as the use random variable index by some parameters. Parameter may be the discrete or continuous. If it is parameter is the discrete, we have the discrete state process. If parameter is a continuous, we are having a continuous state process. So most often time is used as a continuous index. So to formulate the population dynamics models, people are using the BERT process, but BERT process is very important for the prediction of the performance measures. If most of the physical and the biological system are governed by the input-output process. So if input we are taking by the birth rate, input rate, and the output rate is called the death rate. So if they are the state of the system is denoted by the K. So in that case, we are having the the event occurs with the arrival rate or the occurrence rate lambda. So that is called the birth process. So Poisson process gives you the birth process. If we are taking the birth process, we come across the Poisson process. This is the homogeneous process. But whenever we are doing the modeling of the software reliability, we are taking into consideration the non-homogeneous Poisson process. So we also define the non-homogeneous Poisson process later on. So if we are taking the NT is the birth process, and if lambda occurs with lambda t, this is the instantaneous occurrence rate, lambda t. So it depends on the time. So we come across the number of failures in this case, in case of the system. So if lambda t is equal to lambda, it is a constant, we have the Poisson process. If we are having the lambda t, it depends on the t. So we come across the non-homogeneous Poisson process. So instantaneous failure rate we are obtaining by taking the derivative of the mean value function. So MT is the mean value function. So average occurrence we are taking by the MT. Expectation of the failures or whatever may be the occurrence of any event. So that is denoted by the mean value function. So two things are important. What is the mean value function and what is the failure intensity function to define any non-homogeneous Poisson process. So here we are taking the, if we are having the 2-unit system, to 1-unit system, it has the 2 state. State 1 is the up state, and state 0, we call that one the down state for the 1-unit system, and 2-state Markov process we are taking. So if there is a failure occurs with the rate lambda, so we switch over from up state to the down state, and if repair is done in case of the down state, so we switch over from down state to up state with the repair rate mu. So here lambda is the failure rate and mu is the repair rate. So for 2-state Markov model, we are making the input equal to the output, inflow is equal to the outflow. So rate of flow in equal to the rate of flow out. So if we are taking the 0 state, flow out is with the rate mu, and flow in from state 1 is with rate lambda. So mu is multiplied by 0. 0 is the pi 0 is the probability of being in the state 0. So by balancing the inflow by the outflow, we can take the balance equations, or this is the difference equation. So I am taking the mu multiplied by the pi 0 and lambda multiplied by the pi 1 we are equating both, so we are getting the probabilities equation. That is the difference equation. And also we have the sum of the probability equal to 1. So very easily we can solve. Here pi 0 plus pi 1 equal to 1. So we can get the probability pi 0 and pi 1 quite easily. And pi 1 is the state in which system is up. So this gives you the availability. System will be available because it is the up. So and unavailability is taken as the complement of the availability. So quite easily we are getting the results. System is available or unavailable by taking the failure rate and the repair rate. So you can see whatever equation we have taken that does not contain the t time. So that is a steady state equation, but in real time system may depend on the time dependent. So if we are taking the state 1 as the up state and 0 as the down state. So we are writing the probabilities, time dependent probabilities for this system. So PT we are interested. So again we are formulating the whatever rate of change in the state 1, that means we are taking a derivative dp1 upon dt. So that equal to the whatever made the flow in minus flow out. So flow in, flow out we take with the negative sign. From state 1, flow out, this is the lambda is the flow out, we take with the negative sign, and whatever flow in, mu multiplied by the P0 with the positive sign. So rate of change in the state, that is the derivative terms for the state 1, it comes out to be the minus for the outflow and plus for the inflow probability. Similarly, we write down the equation for the dp0 upon dt. So whatever out is the minus mu, we are taking the mu with the negative sign multiplied by the p0t, and whenever we are taking the lambda, this is the with plus sign. Lambda is taken with the plus sign multiplied by the p1t from this equation. So this is the set of 2 equations, and 2 unknowns are here, but also we have one more condition, that is the P1 plus P2 equal to 1. So that is normalized condition also used. And this set of differential equation can also be solved. This is a simultaneous equation. This is the linear differential equation with constant coefficient, but simultaneous equation. We are having the linear equations. So we solve these kind of the differential equation by taking the Laplace transform. So if we are taking the Laplace transform of the first terms, we are getting the SP1S. And the Laplace transform on the right hand side, we are taking the Laplace transform. We are taking here. And left hand, we are having a derivative terms. So SPS minus P1 0. You already know how to take the Laplace transform. So once we are taking the Laplace transform, so we have to solve this set of equation by using the initial condition. Initially system is good. If our assumption that system is initially good, so P1 0 comes out with 1. That means P0 0 is equal to 0. So this set of equation can be easily solved to get the P0s and P1s. So once we are getting these equations, so now we take the inverse Laplace transform. Inverse Laplace transform by taking the partial fraction. You can easily do. So once we are taking the inverse Laplace transform, we are getting the probability. So this gives the transient probability of system being in good state. P1t at time t, system is available. is given by the P1T, not available by the P0T. So that is the way we take the single unit system, which may fail, maybe the in operative state or the fail state. Just mathematics is done, very simple algebra is done to solve that one. And we can also solve that two equations by using this is the normalizing condition. Normalizing condition means you are putting the P0 in terms of the P1. P0 you are writing as the 1 minus P1T. So you are getting the single equation here. And initial condition you can apply. This is the initial condition. You can apply the initial condition to solve this linear differential equation with constant coefficient. So you can take the integrating factor. The integrating factor comes out to be here. This is the coefficient. So by using this coefficient, you are getting the integrating factor. So you are getting the solution. So this is the single equation, ordinary differential equation, linear differential equation with constant coefficient. So we get the result. But if we are having the multiple failure, say we are having the two types of the failures. System is this gives you the system is good state. Okay, so it may fail in one way or it may fail in another way. So second type of the failure. So failure rate, say we are taking here the lambda 1. So lambda 1 is the failure rate of the first kind failure, and lambda 0 is the another kind of the failures. Okay, so and repair rate is the same. So from failed state to the up state, we are coming with the rate. So in this case, you have to write down the three equations for a steady state. Say we are writing only this equation. So whatever go outside is the lambda 0, lambda 1, and the lambda 0. And so sum comes out with the lambda. So lambda with negative sign, we are taking the P2. With positive sign, mu multiplied by the P1. And with here is the mu multiplied by the P0 equal to 0. Similarly, for state 1 and 0, we write out the equations. Okay, so one equation we are taking for P2 and P1, we are writing the equation. And third equation we are taking as the normalizing condition, sum of the probability equal to 1. Simple three algebraic equations, simultaneous equations. So we can solve easily by algebraic manipulation. So probability comes out to be this one. So if we take this is the steady state probability. Probability the system is in good state. So this gives you the availability of the system. Okay. And sum of these two gives you the unavailability, or 1 minus A gives you the unavailability of the system. So for the transient state, we have to write down we write down the in terms of the differential equation. And if we are plotting that one, so we can get this. So P2 means as time grow up, so your probability P2T goes down, means as time grow up and or time passes, the reliability of the system being in good state becomes lesser and lesser. So in case of the multiple failure, we can formulate the set of difference equation as well as the set of differential equation for the steady state and the continuous state model. There may be the more multiple operation state. So that way we can also formulate if we are having in the starting system is in the good state. This we are taking the two gives you the system in good state. If there is a partial failure, then comes out with a total failure of the system. And here from total failure to it comes to the partial repair state and then repair state. So here is the three state by taking the inflow and outflow as a positive and negative, and derivative terms we can take if we are writing the equation of any state. So we can get the results for that one. So, but whenever there is the failure of the system, there may be some defect in the diagnosis of that one. Not always you can detect the fault. So that is called the imperfect coverage. And in case of the imperfect coverage, we provide the intelligence to the system. So if imperfect coverage, so system can reboot itself so that system can also operate in spite of that. So imperfect coverage means we are taking the if malfunctioning of one unit goes undetected with the probability 1 minus C. So whatever previous model we are taking, the partial failure is there with the rate lambda 2, and then again failure, total failure from the partial to do with the rate mu1 is there. And repair, partial repair we have taken by the mu1, and the again repair we are taking by the mu2. If we are taking the malfunction of one unit goes undetected, if it does not able to detect that one with the probability 1 minus C, so that means with probability C you are detecting the failure. If you are not detecting the failure correctly with the probability 1 minus C, 1 minus C is the probability of not detecting the failures, whatever made the partial failure, that means your system become the total down. So we reach to this state. So with probability C, you can detect the failure. So this is the system can work in the degraded mode. But if you are not able to detect the failure, that means system become the complete failure with the probability 1 minus C. So now equation can be formulated as we have stated. Say I am writing the just one this state equation. So outflow is here is a lambda 2C, lambda 2 1 minus C. So lambda 2 we are taking with the negative side multiplied by the P2, and incoming in the state 2 is the mu2 from 1. So mu2 P1 we are taking equal to 0. So that way we write down the equation for the state 2. Similarly, we can write down for the state 1 and 0. So by solving, we are getting the probabilities P2, P1 and P0. So this is the steady state probabilities. And system is in the fully good state. P2, we take the theta and so that way we take the solution. We have discussed the 1 unit system. Say we are having a 3 unit system. If unit is good, is up, we are denoting by the 1. If it is down, we are denoting by the 0. So 1, 1, 1 means all the 3 units are up. First, second, third, 3 units are similar unit we are taking into consideration. If third unit fails, so 1, 1 is there. Here second unit fails, so in between we are taking the 0. And first unit fails, so we are having the 0, 1, 1. So this part you can see that there is a 2 units are in operating state. And again, one more unit fails. So this is the state where we are having the 1 unit in the operating state. And here 3 units. 3 units are operating. Here 2 units are operating. Here 1 units are operating. Here all units, all the 3 are in fail state. So if we are having this model, so we can also take this one as the 3 units. We same failure rate. So from state 3, so here 3 units fails, each one fail with the rate lambda, so 3 lambda we are taking here. Here we are having this in this part, we have the 2 units. So 2 similar units, so failure rate is the 2 lambda, and only 1 unit in this part. So we have the lambda is the failure rate, repair rate is taken to the same. So this is the birth death process where your birth rate are taken as a 3 lambda, 2 lambda, and lambda for the state 3, 2, 1, and 0. Death rate is the same mu. So we can formulate we can get the results. So now here we have taken the 3 unit system. So we have taken the birth death rate as a birth rate is the 3 lambda, 2 lambda, lambda. So this is you take this is the lambda 3. This is we are taking the lambda 2, and here we are taking the lambda 1. So depending on the state, we can take the birth rate lambda, and it comes out to be the n lambda. But mu n comes out to be the mu in this case. So in general, we are writing the birth death equations for different states. Lambda 0 is the failure rate from the state 0, and lambda k is the failure rate from the state k, lambda k. And the repair rate we are taking as the mu k plus 1 here, k plus 1 to k, and here is the mu k. So we can write down the general equations. If we are writing the equation for the k state, 2 outflow are there, lambda k and the mu k. Lambda k and mu k rate, 2 outflow rate are there, take with the negative sign, or we are taking the balance equation. So you can write down the equation for this one and this one. So by writing the set of equation, we solve easily. So we are getting the whatever may be the pi k values, probability of being in state k, this become the lambda k minus 1 upon mu k. So this coefficient we are multiplying. So recursive process can be used to solve this equation. K minus 1 you are writing in terms of the k minus 2. K minus 2 in terms of the k minus 3. So recursive process. So here, if we are taking the pi k, probability of being in state k, so this in the denominator you are multiplying the mu i's, in the numerator you are multiplying your failure rates, and the denominator you are multiplying the repair rate. So this gives you the product type solution. Quite easily we have obtained. If we are taking the recursive method or differentiation approach, you can also use to solve this one. So birth death process gives you the solution, product type solution, and pi 0 is unknown. So that unknown you can obtain by taking the sum of the probability is equal to 1. So that is called the normalizing condition. So now I come to the how we apply the artificial intelligence to this stochastic system. So in artificial intelligence, mainly we are considering the today I am limited to the export system, and fuzzy logic is also used if there is the input parameter or the ambiguity is there, or linguistic weight people are defining. So basically we are taking the commonly these areas, neural network, artificial neural network, we call that one, and natural language processing is done. So based on these area, we come to the how we are taking the thing into consideration. So little bit more about the expert system. So application, we know in every area we can take the artificial intelligence system. So design, basic say camera lens design or automobile design, you are using the artificial system. Medical domain, many equipments and the drug delivery can be done. Monetary systems are also using the say for the forecasting, weather forecasting, or in petroleum pipeline, people are using the artificial intelligence system. For the control purpose also, knowledge purpose also. So we are dealing with the finding the faults in any system. It may be the vehicle, it may be the computers, or it may be the. So today we are focusing only this knowledge system, knowledge domain to decide the fault and how we overcome from those faults. So that system will be the fault tolerance. In the finance systems, whatever stock exchange or the inventory systems or many share systems, airlines scheduling also using this system. So I'm not going to the detail how we develop the expert system as we are doing the modeling, OR modeling. In the same way, we are taking the some steps. We identify the problem, then we take the design, then we develop the prototype, then testing and refine the prototype. Testing is mandatory because we want to refine our prototype. Then we are again and again we are checking our system whether it is up to the mark or not. Then once testing is done, we develop and complete the expert system. So then after completing the expert system, we are also maintain the system also, because it is a knowledge-based system. So whatever knowledge, it can be updated similar to the software system. Software system is also maintained by the engineer during the operation phase also. And a lot of the benefits of the expert systems, so we are not going into the detail. So here I am interested how we are using the artificial system with the help of the fuzzy logic. So fuzzy logic, little bit we give briefly how we are using the fuzzy logic to develop the artificial system. So fuzzy logic system produces acceptable but definite output in response to the incomplete, ambiguous, distorted, or inaccurate input. Actually, whatever input in deterministic system or the CRISP system we are taking, that is the defined, accurate, some numbers we are using, but it is not the real life. We have some ambiguity in the input data, and there may be the linguistic way to define the input data, and incomplete information are there. So we have to apply the fuzzy logic. And once we are taking the fuzzified input parameters, then we generate the output based on that. So most of you are familiar, I think, with the fuzzy logic. So it imitates the way of decision making in human, and whatever information is there, in this system, we are providing the answer in the yes and no. But in case of fuzzy logic, we are giving the answer, we are dealing the input parameter, not with the certainty it happens or not happens, but in between we are also taking the input. Similarly for the output also. So fuzzy logic was first time studied by the Jeddah, Lofi Jeddah, and he did the application, he given the many results as for the crisp algebra. So that you can see in any book if interested. But here I am just defining the fuzzy logic to apply for the expert system. So we are taking the fuzzy logic to control any machine or the consumer products. So whenever there is any machines, whatever input data, if it is fuzzified, so we are using the fuzzy logic approach. And it may not give the accurate reasoning, but acceptable reasoning. So we are applying the fuzzy logic. And it helps to deal with uncertainty, whatever problems we are taking, that the fault tolerances. So if fuzzified input taken, maybe the 5 members, maybe the 10 members. So here, if we are taking anything X, small, maybe the large, maybe the very large, maybe the very small, moderately small. So input parameter can be taken into the many ways. So to develop the fuzzy logic based expert system, we are using the knowledge base. So knowledge is stored if and then rules. Some rules are defined to apply the fuzzy logic. Inference system we are developing by taking the if and then rules. If this happens, then output should be this. If this and this happens, then this will be the output. So that kind of the results are here. So inference system we are developing. And once we are getting the output, that output is the fuzzified. So fuzzified output is further defuzzified to get the crisp value of the output. So that is the basic way to do to develop the fuzzy expert system. So whatever crisp output is there, we take the crisp fuzzifier output we are taking here with the help of the fuzzifier. Then some rules, if and then rules we are defining. Intelligence is provided by taking the fuzzifier, fuzzy input set, and if and then types rules. Intelligence is provided. Then we are getting the output values. Once output is obtained, that is in terms of the defuzzy, in terms of the fuzzy numbers. So sometimes we need the defuzzified numbers as output. So defuzzifier is used. So this is the basic way we are developing the fuzzy logic based expert system. So in 10 minutes, I just take how we take the fault tolerance system if we are taking the fuzzified input. So fault tolerance system means our system will work in spite of the some failures. So, and whatever may be the input parameters, it may be the fuzzified parameter. So we are using the sum membership function for that fuzzified parameters. And then get the output. Output for this model, we are taking as the mean time to failure and the availability. And that output is also in fuzzified form. To make the system fault tolerance, there may be the provision of redundancy. Redundancy, I mean to say some spare parts support should be there. And in any expert system, the redundancy, availability, and maintainability is also important because we are going to develop the intelligence system. So with the help of the redundancy, in spite of the failures, system will provide the correct output or correct production, whatever it is made. So that is done with the help of the RAM. RAM means redundancy, availability, and maintainability. So here we develop a model in a 5-state. We have discussed already how we take the input output rate for any state. So here is we can take the advanced model by taking the unreliable server or the vacation server, working vacation or the working breakdown, reboot and recovery. So we take the first a very simple model, how we apply the fuzzy logic to develop that model. So the provision of the imperfect coverage, we have already discussed. What is the imperfect coverage? It means if there is a fault, it is not detected correctly. With some probability, it remains undetected. So that is the coverage, imperfect coverage we are taking into the consideration. Reboot means if fault is not detected, so system automatically reboot itself so that it can go into the good state. As in computer system, if there is some fault, so automatically system go for the reboot process. And even for the mobiles, reboot process is also provided. So to make it available within a few seconds. And shock failure means due to some reason, more than one component can fail simultaneously. So, and here input parameters, whatever be the failure rate and the repair rate, that is taken to the fuzzified. So by taking this fuzzified logic, we are providing the little bit intelligent system in terms of the fuzzy logic. And the reboot process is also important here to make the system. By making the system intelligent, it automatically reboots the system in case of some fault. So very simple way to formulate this model. We are having the here, this is the good state of the unit, and there may be the failure with the rate lambda if it is undetected. So system, this is the failed state. Failed state comes 3 is the failed state because fault is undetected with the probability 1 minus C. But from this is detected with the probability C. There are the 2 unit system. One is the system is the operating unit, and second one S suffix we are taking for the, this is the spare part support, redundant unit. 2 unit system is there. One is operating unit, it fails with the rate lambda, and another is the standby unit, it fails with the rate lambda S. If that is not detected, so we multiplied by the 1 minus CS also. With probability CS it is detected, so we take this term for that. Once unit fails, it is repaired with the rate mu. We take this, right? It is detected with, then it is repaired with the rate mu. So both units becomes in a good state. And here this, whatever single unit is here now, so it failed with the rate lambda. So here is the failed state of the system. System is failed. So whether detected or not detected, it is failed. It reaches to the failed state. And here operating unit is working, so it again failed with the rate lambda. So system may fail here in this stage. So here we are not providing the process of the reboot, or so to make the system intelligence, what we are taking, this is the process of the, if this is not detected, system reboot itself with the rate sigma. So system becomes in a operating state with 1 unit. And similarly, here also system reboot itself with the rate gamma. So it becomes operating. In the previous case, here you can see the system becomes fail. But in this case, system can operate due to the reboot process. So 1 unit here, it fails as in the previous case, and repair is done for that one also to make the system more reliable. There may be the case of the common cause failure, that means both operating as well as the use operating as well as the redundant unit fail with the rate lambda c and back to the 0 state if it is repaired. So for the both cases, we can write down the set of differential equation, 5-unit system is here, and then solve as we have discussed previously. So first we develop the CRISP model. Is our arrival rate, service rate, repair rate. Arrival rate means failure rate, and repair is rate are the CRISP. So recovery and reboot process, we are taking the beta rate, gamma and sigma. So we have discussed how to write down the differential equation. So 5 differential equation we are writing by taking the inflow and outflow and then take the Laplace transform. So after taking the Laplace transform, we have this is the 5 set of equations, and then by solving that one, Laplace transform of the probabilities, state 0, state 1, and so on is obtained for the first model. So now inverse Laplace transform can be taken to get the probability, and reliability is the state F0, F1, F2 if we are adding that one. And mean time to failure is obtained as the integral of the reliability. And availability is also we have discussed previously. So we are getting this availability results. Okay. So here we are having the results for the mean time to failure and availability for different coverage, imperfect coverage rate. So results are as we expected. We are with failure, when failure rate increases, mean time between failure which decreases, and availability also you can see the different for different C you can see the pattern. So here are the plot for the MTTF and the reliability also. Now how we apply the fuzzy-fied input parameter. So whenever we are using the fuzzy-fied input parameters, 3 parameters we are taking the fuzzy-fied parameters. So those fuzzy-fied parameters we are taking the output in terms of the fuzzy-fied parameter by taking the alpha cut approach. So by taking the alpha cut membership function we are taking by taking the alpha cut here. So bounds for the parameters, lower bounds and upper bounds we are taking, say for the lambda, lower bound is the 1 and upper bound is the 5. So we are getting the lower and upper bound for the mean time to failure by taking the fuzzy-fied parameter. So little bit more analysis is needed when we are applying the fuzzy-fied parameter. So here non-linear parametric approach is used by taking the alpha cut. So fuzzy availability is also obtained. So this is the lower bound and upper bound corresponding to the alpha cut. So we are getting the interval for the mean time to failure and the lower bound and upper bound for the availability also. So here fuzzy-fied fuzzy mean time to failure is obtained here, and fuzzy availability is shown in this figure. But we can also take the defuzzification by taking the many rules. So depending on which rule you are applying, so we can defuzzify this one. So quickly we have taken a look how we apply the fuzzy logic to make the system intelligence And here to make the system fault tolerance, we are taking the provision of the reboot and reboot also. So reboot is the part of computer system and even mobiles commonly used, but in many Internet of Things, this kind of the system design are needed. So I just take the 5 minutes to complete this one. So whatever we are taking the fault tolerance system, quickly I take the more advanced way. So if there is a service interruption may be due to the failure of the repairman. Other things, if imperfect coverage, reboot is there. So previous system is a 2-unit system. So very simple system we are taking, but it is not the, one is the operating unit and another one is the standby unit. But in real-time system, there may be the more than one unit. So if you are taking the case of the L operating unit and the W standby units, so we can develop the features. And one extra thing is also there. We are taking the breakdown of the repairman. Whatever repairman is there, it is there for repairing of the failed unit, but it may also unavailable due to service interruption, due to the maybe the person may be the sick, machine may fail due to the some other reason. If machine is working as a repairman. So just I see the how we take the transition diagram. By taking the different states, we are taking the different labels 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with the help of the transition diagram, set of differential equation can be written, and then solution can be provided for the transient at the steady state. So whatever operator or the repairman may be the PG normally, maybe the vacation, maybe the breakdown, reboot state from the vacation, PG state or the breakdown. So depending on the different scenario for the repairman, you can complete the transition diagram and can get the then set of differential equation or difference equation. So for different state and get the probabilities and the reliability for advanced models. So you will see, as in the 2-unit system, we are taking just the set of differential equation, then taking the Laplace transform and get the results. So for set of differential equation, then again we are taking the set of simultaneous equation by taking the Laplace transform. So to solve this kind of the equation, eigenvalues method can be used, and sometimes transient solution can be obtained by taking the Runge-Kutta method. Runge-Kutta method is very popular for that one. So here we solve this one by taking the set of simultaneous equation in terms of the parameter, Laplace parameter S. Laplace parameter S, not I am taking the detail. Reliability is obtained by taking the sum of the probability at which system is in working state. So at this state, system is not working. And so 1 minus complement gives you the your reliability, and mean time to failure is the integral of the reliability. So whenever we are doing the system modeling or for any system, not only the intelligent system, we are doing the sensitivity analysis. This is also part of the simulation. So classical way of sensitivity analysis as given in OR book can be applied. So here are some results. This is I just take the, this is here we are taking the general distribution. Earlier we have taken the exponential distribution. So general distribution can take the maybe the deterministic, maybe the exponential, maybe the Lagrangian or gamma, beta. So for different distribution. So in this case, system is not Markovian. So we can apply the supplementary variable to make the state Markovian. Supplementary variable technique is used to make the system Markovian. Again, the process of the imperfect coverage, because system fault cannot be detected correctly or reboot process is taken into the consideration. So I think I stop here. Because if you have any question, you may ask. Hello. 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 Thank you so much.
Yes, participant, please ask any query, or you can write in the chat box. I think there is no query, ma'am.
Okay.
Now I would like to invite Professor Rajiv Kumar, coordinator of FDP, to vote for vote of thanks. Please, sir.
I'm audible. Thank you very much, Professor Madhu Jain, for delivering a very detailed and very informative talk regarding a topic of my interest. And I can see your work you have done in this area. You have touched upon various topics, in fact, in this talk. Starting from very elementary thing regarding the stochastic modeling, intelligent system, Markov chain, you have touched upon almost the things that is there in engineering and technological systems, covering a wide spectrum of things like tolerant system, intelligent systems, and then also taken care of that what happens to the systems whenever there are multiple failures and multiple operation states. You have also taken the things regarding the analysis of these systems and what measures we can have, whether it is reliability or availability or any other cost considerations. I feel this is a task which is required to our participants who are basically from engineering and technological side, and few of the participants are from mathematics also. And you have no doubt a blend of all these mathematics, statistics, engineering, and technological advanced systems. So thank you very much for giving a wonderful and informative talk during this session. We are also obliged that you have spared your valuable time for the participant and for the us also. We have in fact also learned a lot from your side during this session. Slides were very wonderful, and my team was appraising that you have wonderful slides and so much time you have devoted for this talk. Thank you very much, madam. Thanks a lot for sharing your valuable time and giving your very mind-blowing and brainstorming session. And I think all the participants have benefited from your knowledge, and hope these videos that will be shared in the YouTube after these activities will be useful for not only the participants, but all the interested researchers and academicians on the globe who are interested to work in this area. So thanks a lot. We have such a big personality during this session. Of course, today is the last, this one is the last session of the today, third day. And over the last 2 years, we are no doubt interacting with so many eminent personalities like you, and you have wonderful session. In fact, since from the morning, we are having quite good sessions today only, I can say. In the morning, Professor Srinivasa Rao from Augusta University, USA, has deliberated on the machine learning and deep learning along with the AI. And in the second session, Professor C.K. Jaggi from Delhi University has deliberated on various supply chain models and lead time concepts to our participants. And in the last session of yours, no doubt we have come across reliability, technological system, intelligence system, AI, blended out together. And I hope the whole day have been good enough to learn and expand their knowledge for the participants who are on the board. So thank you all, and especially our listening speaker and the resource person of the day who is in the validity part of this session. Thank you, Professor Madhudan, on behalf of all the participants and the organizing team and Department of Mathematics and Maharashi Dayananda University also. I thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. I'm also thankful to the participants who are on the board since from the morning, and now they can have the rest. And I hope in the coming 2 days also, they will learn a lot and hopefully enjoy also. Thank you very much, and सभी को नमस्कार और धन्यवाद, आभार सभी को सेशन में जुड़ने के लिए. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All the participants are requested to kindly fill up the attendance sheet, which is already shared in the chat box. It is my humble request that you must fill this sheet later on after half an hour. We won't allow you to have this sheet. 45 minutes we give for this time span for this sheet is 15 minutes during the session and half an hour after the session. And you are required to fill up this sheet in 45 minutes. But if you are not able to do at your end, it is you have to bear it with that. You cannot allow after that. This is the requirement of AICT as we are doing now. You see, some of the participants could not do fill up their